Hi guys, John Pickard here. So I finally get around to making this video, which I've been wanting to make quite a long time, on the subject of sharpening levers. A lot of you will know this instrument. This is one of my harp guitars, actually a fretless harp guitar made by Sean Woolley in France. Really lovely instrument, and with the help of my luthier friend Alan Miller, we've been doing a lot of modifications over the years, over the last 3 or 4 years really on this one. The main thing we did was to put a load of super treble strings on, which weren't there when I bought the instrument, and that took quite a bit of work, but that's a subject for another day. But anyway, I always wanted these sharpening levers on here, but the problem I had getting sharpening levers on was that at the top here the strings are about 9mm apart, 9mm apart, and the best levers on the market really are these Dragon Whisperers or Truett levers, but they're not made anymore, and they're too wide, unfortunately. But there's a company in Pakistan run by Ahmad Shah that make replicas of these, and they're just as good, to be honest. I've tried the originals and I've tried the new replicas from Pakistan, and they're really, really good. But the problem was they weren't going to fit, because these are 11mm wide and I've only got a 9mm gap. So for ages I was wondering what I'm going to do. Anyway, so cut a long story short, I contacted Ahmed and asked him would he be able to make some special versions of these narrower for me to 8 to 9mm. He agreed to do it and sent me these photographs of some altered levers which make a big difference, and I was finally able to kind of get them on. So after a lot of cutting and filing and measuring and drilling and generally faffing around with this area of the instrument here, I finally got them into a really good working state after lots of different design revisions. A quick demo of them just to show you how they sound. I hope I'm in tune. Close. Alright, so I'm in E minor, which means I've got, I'm sure you all know your key signatures, but if you don't, it means I've got all natural notes except for the Fs, which are F sharps. Let's say I wanted to cancel that F sharp. I've got 2 F strings. Now I've got, there we go, so we're in A minor. Say I wanted to go into F major, which has a flat in it, has a B flat in it, and which just all I have to do is flatten my B string. Make sure I've got an F down here. Of course, I've only just put the strings back on, tighten them up again, so they're not really behaving themselves yet. Which also functions very nicely for D minor. Okay, let's go back into the sharp keys. There's A minor again. Let's say I wanted D major. That's going to need 2 sharps. I'll do my 2 F strings and my C string, if I can find it quickly enough. Use that one. Should be in D major. Very nice too. How lovely is that? Really great to be able to do it so quick and easily. A major, so I'm going to need a G sharp as well. My 2 G strings. E major, add the D string. Fantastic. So much quicker. Imagine having to do that here, actually tuning semitones on each of those strings. Nightmare. You can't do it in concerts. So it'll mean concerts are going to get so much easier to go from one piece to the next, and I can alter the programming now in much more any way I wish. So I totally recommend anyone who plays with super treble strings, which isn't many people, but anyone who does play with super treble strings, if you can get the chance to get some levers on the super trebles, I'd take it. I really would take it. It makes tuning so much easier, because without them you tend to end up sort of stuck in 1 or 2 keys, because you can't really be bothered to change so many tunings on the actual tuners, and it adds different tensions to the bridge and it causes all sorts of other problems. That's the other thing about the levers, of course, that you get the semitone changes without any tension changes. So you haven't got to be all sharpening, flattening, and the strings haven't got to readjust or anything like that. Once it's settled, it's settled. On the posts, which are actually made out of bits of brass and copper rod, which I drilled some specific holes in and screwed them in place and filed them to shape to get them just right, which was necessary in this tiny little space here. So it can be done in a really small space if you can be bothered to put the work in. But I'm so glad I did, because it makes it so much easier. Can't wait to get into these and using them more, and to start playing this instrument more with more freedom, to go from one tune to the next, one tuning to the next. Great stuff. So thank you so much to Luthier Ahmad Shah, who you'll see on Facebook here and there. That's Dukona Harp Hardware, make these little levers, and for being flexible enough to make the customised levers for me. And I have noticed that probably 5 or 6 well-known harp guitar luthiers have since ordered these smaller, narrower levers, which were originally done for me on this one. So that's great to see things moving forward in that sort of way. I know that luthiers don't really like fitting them on because they are so fiddly, really fiddly to get it just right. But as a player, I'm really glad I did it. Long time doing it, but so well worth it in the end, so completely recommend it.